you not entertained? The soccer that we have gotten the last couple of days has been heart-stopping. It has been incredible, and we are golden goal here from OddsChecker to break it all down. He's Martino Puccio, the co-host of the State of the Play pod, also writes for The Athletic. I'm Matias Weilmann here from OddsChecker. Martino, can I get a pulse check here? It might be more for me than for you, but I figured, from what we've seen the last couple of days, it has just been nuts.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I've been calm. I mean, yesterday was just more the intense day. At this point, it's just watching how things play out. I think there's more of a favorable path now for the U.S. if they ever wanted to get to a quarterfinal, or even a semifinal. It's not completely far fetched. So that's a little something I was excited about. But I don't know. I really wasn't too nervous in general because Mexico and Poland I didn't really have too much about. But anytime a rival loses and gets eliminated from the World Cup, it's a good day in my opinion. So I'm happy.
Yeah, you're not unhappy now, it seems. Speaking of the U.S. just and their path, I know we don't want to spend too much time because we will get to it ad nauseum this week. 23% of the tickets, according to DraftKings, has been on the U.S. to win the World Cup since they beat Iran. That is the most. And get this, someone from Kansas put two big bets, 25K to win 225K for England, 3,000 to win 300K for the U.S. I can't advise to do that, but I mean, if you have money to just throw out like that, I guess follow your dreams. I don't know. We're going to start with the action that we saw today, though, because there was plenty of action. We're starting with Poland and Argentina. It just went final. Argentina, a 2-0 win. Against all odds, they end up qualifying and winning the group. Poland right behind them, which big hit for us. If you had them straight, that was at plus 175. This one, as much as really any game, maybe outside of Costa Rica and Spain, was really never up in the air. You saw right from the beginning, Poland really had nothing to play for, oddly.
There was no creativity at all, no help for Robert Lewandowski. Szczesny was the difference in that penalty kick save to advance them to the knockout stages. The under hit on 2.5, so that was kind of something we expected.
You had to
Again, no, I mean, yeah, we had to sweat it out a little bit on the Argentina side of things, but at that point it was just keep possession of the ball, and Poland was going to do everything to prevent it. There was almost a goal line clearance as well. Still some side netting hits too, but everything I kind of expected from this sort of match, and you got screwed by Lautaro. This is exactly the thing I was talking about prior to the tournament. This guy misses a chance like that, but he'll knock in a volley from 20 yards out. This is why he's the most frustrating player at this tournament. But again, Enzo Fernandez, Julian Alvarez start. Look what happens. Argentina are totally different, and it's a good result. So congratulations to them for if you had Argentina and Poland as well in the 1-2 for the group. So it's all positive if you bet those things for the preview show.
Good things happen when you listen to Golden Goal, apparently. I don't know if the whole Federation for Argentina was listening to you, but if they did, that's where they got the advice from. And shout out Brody Betts, too, hitting over 1.5 goals for Argentina. Got it at minus 130. Again, you can get all the picks, premium and unlocked, on OddsChecker. MyOC Premium has a 1-week free trial. This is as good a time as ever to make sure you're not missing it. And if you're watching us on Twitter or on YouTube, drop your comments, drop your questions if you have them. We might have answers. We might not, honestly. It's been a wild tournament, but it seems like things are kind of starting to go back to what we thought it might shake out like. And that brings us to our next game, because before the tournament, you figured this is probably the way it was going to go, but it didn't seem like it. Mexico ends up winning 2-1 against Saudi Arabia. Both teams end up being eliminated. Disappointing for the Saudis, honestly, because they started well against Argentina. They didn't look terrible against Poland. Mexico finally put it together, but in the end, it wasn't enough.
No, I mean, listen, that corner kick was embarrassing enough to lose that match, that they allowed that goal on, and then again, consolation goal at the end that really just knocked Mexico out. It was, if I was an El Tri fan, I would be a lot happier being eliminated by goal differential than yellow cards. But again, either way, unfortunately, that did kind of cost the under. And then Saudi Arabia to win. Listen, I'm fine with taking those odds that I did. It was a long shot, and there was so much money even coming in late on Mexico. And fair enough, it did end up cashing, but too little, too late for Mexico. That's for sure.
probably the goal of the tournament so far on that free kick, right?
Everyone's saying I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Richarlison, I still can't get over that.
Yeah, no, that's
That's
fair.
for me. That's it. That's the only thing because everyone just like it's a set piece kick. I don't know. I feel like they're both difficult in their own ways, but knocking down a ball in the middle of the box and doing an overhead kick in the opening match against Serbia is, I mean, to me, I still take that one. But a hell of a goal. Number 2 is fun.
Yeah, no, number 2 is a nice consolation prize. Never a doubt for me for both teams to score, right? I had that one all the way. Now moving on to our second group that was in play today. It was Group D, France's group. They had already qualified. They were the first match we're going to get to. Tunisia ends up winning 1-0. We kind of mentioned this might be an interesting spot if you wanted that Tunisia money line. I'm not going to take full credit because I said I don't exactly advise for you to do it, but I'll take half of the credit. Tunisia, a 1-0 win, and they end up not qualifying, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, the game pretty much played out how we thought it would at that point. It was lineup dependent, like we were saying. And again, this is why we tell you to bet with your gut, because look what ended up happening. So if you went with stuff like that, it would have been fantastic. But yeah, listen, Mexico. I mean, sorry, no, I'm sorry. So used to talking about Mexico all day. France did a a lineup that was just having Camavinga at left back, like what was rumored. Guendouzi is up on the right wing side. We didn't see anyone relative close to their starters, and then next thing you know, it's just Dembele in towards the end. This really wasn't going to be high scoring, like we said. Tunisia, I mean, congratulations on the win. That's great, but just too little, too late, unfortunately. And the Aussies, I mean, so well deserved. I know we'll talk about them, but it's just crazy if you went by Tunisia money line. I mean, oh my God,
I didn't, but I wish.
No, I know. I'm saying if someone did, that's incredible. And I know there were some people out there just based of that stuff, but they are Arabic, so maybe it was they were more pushing in that direction. They love seeing AFCON. These are my friends, so they were rooting for them hard. So that's what happens. And I think they were also like plus 1,800 to qualify as well prior to the match starting. So just to even have that, they were that close. They really were. I mean, it was just if Australia doesn't score that, they're through to the next round. So yeah.
And Denmark had chances too in that one. And that'll bring us to our next game. And this is our best game in terms of betting. Yeah. It was Australia and Denmark. Denmark was a crazy dark horse because of how they performed in the Euros to make it into the semis, make it into the quarters, where a lot of the bets, they end up crashing out in the group stage. Australia with a 1-0 win. And you said it, you got to give credit where credit is due. They played hard and they earned this one. And heartbreaking for Tunisia, honestly, because of how well they played, but you can't take anything away from the Aussies.
No, I mean, listen, they were the ones who played the best against France, in my opinion. It just opened up the way it did, and that's just the way that match goes. They grinded out against Tunisia. I mean, sorry, not Tunisia. Tunisia. Just all over the place. And then that's really what it came down to, is just edging this game. Denmark was just tremendous. There's like no open play goal finishing, and this is where the both teams to score no came from. And then I parlayed it with the under as well, so it was good. I did under 2.5 with both teams to score no. I did lean in the direction of Denmark winning 2-0, but this was as low scoring as you would expect, and you did not get anything in terms of being nervous about the over hitting, because this match stunk, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was a bit of a doozy. And comparing the 2 p.m. window to the 10 a.m. window is kind of unfair to the first two matches we saw. I will take Australia to score first at plus 240. Thank you very much. They have scored first in every single match they have played so far. Their next one is against Argentina in the round of 16. So maybe something to look at there. I don't know with the step up in competition that will happen, but that is for a later episode. Let's get to tomorrow's preview. And before we do so, just a reminder, today is your last day to enter for the $500 giveaway. All you have to do is subscribe on YouTube at OddsChecker US. You comment on any video, could be this one, could be a video from 2 weeks ago. As long as it was posted this month, you can put what's number one on your holiday shopping list and you get an extra entry. So subscribe for one entry, comment for another one. Today is your last day to do that. And again, drop any comments, drop any questions you have before we wrap this episode. Any best bets, want our opinion on anything, Can't promise you it's going to be a good opinion, but we'll give it nonetheless. Let's start with our 10 a.m. window. We start in Group E. It's Canada and Morocco. Only one of these teams have something to play for in terms of qualifying, but we talk about it. Canada's a young team. They have a lot of talent. In terms of pride, they have a lot to play for here.
No, exactly. And that's why I think it'll be a little bit more open and for me, safe around over 1.5 parlaying with Morocco. Even then, if you want to look at over 2.5, I like that too. That's not something I'm shying away from. But what the odds that I get, if I could get less goals or have to worry about less goals, and I could parlay it with a team that I think is going to win, I'll take plus 190. The best value is coming from DraftKings with this, according to the grid. So, Morocco has played fantastic in every single game so far. They have more to play for. Canada doesn't have as much. Sometimes it can get tricky back and forth because there's a lot of pride now because they're looking at 0 points and that's kind of frustrating. But again, Canada, I think will leave this open and Davies will just keep pushing. I think they'll get a goal, but I like Morocco in like a 2-1 type of match.
Yeah, you can take both teams to score. You can take just literally, either team over 1.5, maybe, if you want to lean the Morocco side. Again, Morocco needs just a tie or a win. They can still win the group. Those two scenarios at least just get them into the next round. This was kind of a hard one for me because Canada has shown a lot, but you mentioned it. They still have a lot of pride to play for. I think both teams do end up getting on the score sheet, so I'm kind of leaning at both teams to score. I kind of think Morocco is going to score first and end up winning. So if you even want to take them -1 and just kind of hedge with that push a little bit, it's not a bad idea. I know it's not a super sexy pick or anything, but this kind of seems like a hard one because of what's coming up in the same window in the same group, and that's Croatia and Belgium. They have, they're quote unquote the two best teams in this group. I'm not sure if play wise we can call them that. Croatia is in with a win or a draw. Belgium is kind of in the driver's seat at this point. But again, we've mentioned it, and Belgium has just not looked good in this group. It looks like you're kind of leaning the Croatian side here.
Yeah, I love the Croatians in this one. I think they've been the best team in the group. I thought their showing was really just to beat down against Canada and showed why they have the most experience. And I think that matters in matches like this. Belgium is just... They feel like they're self-imploding almost every single time you read or hear something about them. Kevin De Bruyne can't have a worse tournament than he already has. They're not getting the type of finishing that they needed. Lukaku looks like he's putting on weight as well. Like this is not a team I love. And again, Croatia with plus 170. I don't know what these odds are coming. And again, listen, I could be wrong. Fine, but I love that. Basically, yeah, but plus money. That's the beautiful part of it, right?
Beauty of soccer.
Exactly. Gotta love it. And then like the over 2.5, even if you wanted to lean over 1.5, just to that's still over 1.5 with plus money on the money line. But if you could go all the way up to plus 445 just for 3 goals into Croatia and for Croatia to win, that's not insanely ridiculous to see happening. So for me, that's what I like. And again, if you want to lean the other direction, if you like Belgium for whatever reason, you could do the same. So there's a lot of potential and value in this match as opposed to any of them on the board, I think.
Yeah, I like a double chance here. I don't think we're going to see a draw between these two, which of course means that they're going to tie 0-0. Nothing's going to happen. Again, just a refresher on how the table looks. Croatia's at the top with 4. Right now, they're a goal ahead of Morocco in the goal difference, who also has 4. Belgium has 3. Canada, again, 0 points. Not a great look for us because we kind of identified Canada as a potential team to watch here. So I'm kind of going to put you on the spot here. By the way, I like Croatia over 1.5 goals for 2 total. What do you think is qualifying out of this group? Because I think the easy call, and I'm, in no particular order, I think the easy call is Croatia and Morocco. But look, we've seen Belgium do this before and just randomly pull one out when they need to.
Yeah, 4 years ago, I guess. But no, but that's it. But it's true in a sense, and I get where you're coming from. It's never. You're right. You can never say never in this situation. Kevin De Bruyne is still one of the best players in the world. He has to get that benefit of the doubt, but also he's facing Luka Modric. For me, it's just I can't rock with Belgium. I haven't been. I got to stick to my word and my guns. For me, though, I can.
All hater on Belgium.
Hey, I think it's worth looking at Morocco, Croatia 1-2 off of the basis of the possible draw, because I think no matter what, the most confident result I'm in is Morocco win out of like all 6 results possible.
Okay.
That's the one I like the most. And if you go with that and then Croatia, it's great. You could just interchange them as well, but I think those are the 2 that go through.
And if you're not super confident in the order, again, just take them both to qualify at that point. Again, once you get to match day 3, a little bit of the juice is off, but at least if you kind of see a scenario going on but don't know exactly how it's happened, that's the direction you end up going there. I believe the bet that you went in pre-tournament was going to be Croatia and then Canada, which did not come through. I think I ended up going with Belgium-Croatia, which is possible, I guess. Probably unlikely, but we'll just have to see how tomorrow ends up going. And our last game for the day is in the same group. Beg your pardon. We finished the first group. Now we're going to move on to the second group. Again, we talk about a lot of games starting to get mixed up. We have Costa Rica and Germany. We both had picked Germany to win. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. It's actually not going to happen unless they can, outscore Spain by like 8 goals in this one. But Costa Rica and Germany is the first one. I think we're both looking at Germany to be in full control of this one.
Yeah, I was looking at halftime, full times, just because to bet on first halves. I think the Germans are going to come out really aggressive. But halftime, full time for Germany is at minus 126. Just get a first half goal, and they'll be in control for the rest of the match. Yeah. We saw how they controlled one of the best midfielders, one of the best midfields in the world. And then again, the way they grinded out that result against Spain was such a positive for me. And now they face a Costa Rican side who was, I think they were fortunate in the whole entire situation with Japan. I'm not trying to take away their goal. I thought their goal, if there was a normal goalkeeper making the right play, that was absolutely savable. I thought it was really poor. It was. He had a hand on to it. He was just way off his line for no reason. And then we had Japan doing their trickery with the lineups. Hansi Flick isn't going to mess around like that. Germany knows what it takes to advance to the next round. I think they're going to do so, and I see that going down. And again, like if you look at Germany team totals, that's probably something interesting as well. And I know you like something that I agree with could be a good bet too.
Yeah, kind of just on the same line. Germany to win to 0, honestly. I don't know how many goals the Germans are going to score because, again, it's been not exactly encouraging in that department. But even if it's 1-0, that's still 1-0. So I like Germany in that one. I do really like the first half and second half money line too. I just think this is going to be one where they know they need a win. There is a lot of experience in this group, and they're just going to end up getting it done. I know it's not exactly rocket science, but it doesn't always have to be. I think Costa Rica does not come back with some more pura vida for this one. It's rough. I mean, it's a big turnaround from losing 7-0 in the first match to at least come back and beat Japan 1-0. Speaking of Japan, who was in a perfect spot to take this group to qualify or anything, now find themselves with their backs up against the wall. They take on Spain, who has scored the most goals in this tournament so far. So, yikes. You're looking at goals galore here? Because that's kind of the direction I'm starting to lean in.
Do or die, Japanese have to win. That's like straight up what it is at this point. And in these matches where we've seen them create a little bit. The finishing, you don't like it when a team that like Spain won 7-0 against a side who lost 1-0 to them. Kind of like, well, how do you expect goals like that? It's really not necessarily about that. It's necessarily about how many opportunities are Spain going to create against Japan. I think that's going to happen a lot. And again, we're talking about Japan's going to be relentless energy trying to win the ball back from Spain, who is great at retaining possession. And I just think that's going to go back and forth, and there's going to be counterattacking opportunities. And I rely on Spain to win it, and the over 2.5. That's parlayed at plus 148. Again, this isn't like a side that I love to back in Japan at this moment. I think they did amazing tactically in the first game against Germany, and then they decided not to after that. And again, they face the best manager in the tournament in Luis Enrique. So good luck trying to break him down and his side. I have Spain winning this.
Yeah, I have a couple of those that I like. Again, very much like the first match between Germany and Costa Rica. I kind of see this one going to the better team. And Spain has very clearly been the better team between those two. I like both teams to score potentially just from the sheer fact that the Japanese need to win to get in. So I think they're going to come out fired up at least, and I think they'll end up getting one in the back of the net. If you're a little less confident in that, you can take the over 2.5 if you like, or you can take a goal in both halves. That's my play of the game, honestly. I think regardless of who it comes from, eventually the Japanese may stretch themselves a little too thin. Spain can get a second goal in the second half if they end up scoring in that first. It worries me a little bit, but because Spain doesn't have all that much to play for. I mean, if they win, they're in the top of the group, but they're in with a win or a tie, and their goal difference is just so great. Yeah, I think a goal in both halves is what I'm going to rock with for this game. Any other closing thoughts on this game, on any game you saw today, on anything that's coming tomorrow? Any big line changes that you're looking at for the tournament? I can read you some if you'd like.
Well, I think the biggest and most interesting one so far was Argentina moving back into second for the futures play. So now they're on level with France at plus 550. Brazil's moved up pretty significantly at plus 200. I don't think it's worth bet. Again, at this point, if you think Brazil, you have to do it now. You can't wait any longer because it's just going to get ridiculous, because the way it's shaping up and the way the teams are playing on that side of the bracket for Brazil, this should be a shoo-in to the semifinals. It really should. And arguably even the finals. But you never know who they face in the semifinals. I think they're that well positioned for it. As far as other teams, I think now is the perfect time to look at those long shot odds, because it's not fully determined on who is going to face who at certain sides of the bracket. And we don't know how that's going to end up finishing. For me, I don't know. I think France has the value still. I think France has some serious value. Plus 550 for France when they clearly shown they're the best team in this tournament, in my opinion, out of the matches we've seen. And they're not even playing their backups, and they only lose 1-0 to a Tunisian side who played well in their matches. For me, it's France. I think that value is great. They do have the tougher side of the bracket. But again, in terms of just value overall to win, I do like them.
England has been getting a big percentage of the money, of both the percentage of bets and the handle as well.
Kansas.
You can see, yeah. Well, the guy from Kansas is also betting on the U.S., so I don't really know how much advice I'm going to take from him. The only advice you need to take, though, is from Golden Goal, and we're going to wrap up with that. We'll be with you tomorrow to talk about everyone who punched their ticket from the games, then to talk about what's coming up the next day, and then start taking a sneak peek at the round of 16 because it is creeping up on us. Again, the U.S. is going to play on Saturday. Had four more teams punch their ticket today from both Group C and Group D. He's Martino Puccio from The Athletic. I'm Matias Weilmann from OddsChecker. Keep it locked here on OddsChecker.tv. We've got all the best action, every sport, all your best bets, all free here on our YouTube page. We'll see you tomorrow.